Hey guys, welcome back to the Ascendants Through Astrology series, and today we will be talking about Capricorn Ascendant. So, just in case you're new to the channel, if you don't know what an ascendant or rising sign is, your ascendant is the sign that was rising at the time in the east at the time of your birth. The ascendant changes every couple of hours in Vedic astrology, and another term for the ascendant is called the lagna, which means that which has been screwed into place. So this means that at the time of your birth, the positioning of the planets and the constellations as they shine down on you basically mounts your individual personality, past life karma, your passions, your soul desire, family life, career, and all that into place. It's basically giving you a map of your entire life. So, I am a Vedic astrologer and I give out Vedic astrology readings. So if you would like a Vedic astrology reading, go to vincent.thunderwizard.com right there. And yeah. So what that includes things like included in the astrology reading would be your ascendant, your moon sign, your rising sign, your sun sign, the Ishta Devata, Dharma Devata, Palana Devata, and the mantras and rituals that you can do towards to work with your Ishta, Dharma Devata, and Palana Devata. And those basically trigger different things in your life. Like those are the deities or the planets that want to bless you in this life. So doing the mantras and rituals towards them, to them, will activate that blessing that they want to give you in your life, basically. And so then we have things like your Aruda Lagna, your spiritual name, your lucky gemstone that works well for you, and things like that. So it's a really good astrology reading for it basically gives you the most practical and most useful things within your birth chart that you need to know and that you can use in a practical way to affect your life. And it's not just a bunch of intellectualizations. It's not just like, oh, this happened to you when you're a child. Like those things, while they can be good to know, they don't really serve any practical purpose. So this reading is more tailored to finding that practical purpose within your birth chart and giving you the most practical information in your chart. So that's my Vedic astrology reading. So, let's talk about Capricorn Ascendants. So Capricorn Ascendants seem very strict, disciplined, structured, and structured from the outside, but on the inside they're really struggling with their self-esteem, with their willpower, and with their ego. And why is this? Because Saturn rules Capricorn, and the ego, the self-expression, the self-esteem is basically associated with the sun, and the sun and Saturn are, clashing. They're enemies, basically. So Capricorn ascendants strive to gain rank, authority, power, and things like that in their career. But they do this to compensate for their low self-esteem and weak ego. So they'll tend to be workaholics and things like that, to, basically say, like, show that, oh, look at all that I've accomplished in my career, so I must be, worth something. When, true self-confidence, true self-esteem, true, self-assurance comes from within, comes from like the inside, your core beliefs, your core fundamental assumptions, thoughts about yourself, and core beliefs. So they use their external success to compensate for their internal struggles. And that's, that's a real, it's like a struggle, because they're trying to find validation and find success and find love from the outside, but they don't really have that generating within them, and so it's kind of a hard placement. So I talked about a little bit about Capricorn Ascendant. So now we'll move through the 12 houses, and I'll tell you about a little bit about each house. So with Capricorn Ascendant, we have Aquarius in the second house. And Aquarius in the second house, Aquarius is things like utopian desires. And the second house is things like money, work, income, daily routines, values, priorities, habits, work ethic, things like that. And so, someone with this placement may come from an intellectual family background. Their family might be intellectual, or like very maybe even religious or spiritual, something like that, something pretty unorthodox. And they'll be very calculative about their speech and the things that they say. So Pisces. So moving on to Pisces in the third house. Pisces is spirituality, and Pisces is spirituality, and the third house is communication, thinking, siblings, social activities, neighbors, and early education. So someone with this placement may connect with siblings, or those close to them through spirituality. They might have like a soul connection with their siblings, or connect with them through doing things like seeking spiritual pursuits and stuff like that. It's an interesting placement, actually. And someone with this placement also would like to communicate about spiritual things. So that's a good sign. So Aries in the fourth house. Aries is basically taking action. Aries is very action oriented. And the fourth house is home, mother, foundations, family, emotions, and self-care. And someone with this placement may have a strict home life. Their father may have run the home like a military general. like, because we have Aries, Aries the warrior in the 4th house, so this is like the, like, I could see like this being like a tiger mom position where everything is very strict, disciplined, orderly, and everything like, and basically the home life, the family life, or the mother is like is very like aggressive, or has this attitude of aggression, or like very dominating personality kind of thing. So it's an interesting placement. It's a hard placement because that's, when you typically think of the 4th house, you're thinking of the sign of Cancer, which is like nurturing, loving, nourishment from the mother, like really taking care and cuddling and things like that. So Aries here just like totally goes against that. So it's a hard placement. So moving on to Taurus in the 5th house. Now this is an interesting placement. Taurus is basically what you value. It has to do with values. And 5th house is romance, play, creativity, fertility, joy, self-expression, and drama. So someone with this placement will place a high importance on creativity, self-expression, theater, romance, and raising children. They'll really have a lot of passion, or like or a fondness. They'll basically highly value these 5th house things, like creativity, self-expression. Like they might be an artist or something like that. And romance and raising children, like that's a really good placement there. So then we'll go on to Gemini in the 6th house. And Gemini is things like communication, commerce, things like that. And the 6th house is health, fitness, pets, work habits, organization, usefulness, and service. And someone with this placement will be able to resolve disputes with good communication. 6th house is also the sign of the house of like enemies and legal issues and stuff like that. So these people have, like, they'll make great lawyers and judges and politicians because they're able to like communicate their case, their intentions and everything very well, very thoughtfully, and they're great communicators, and this is a great sign, or a great placement for Capricorn Ascendants. So moving on, we'll go to Cancer in the 7th house. And Cancer is basically emotions. It's related to the moon, to the mother, things like that. And 7th house is things like relationships, marriage, contracts, business partnerships, equality, and sharing. And so someone with this placement may have very emotionally I can't talk today. They might have a very emotionally invested spouse, someone who really nurtures them emotionally like a mother would, really nurtures them, really cuddles them, really nourishes them. And yeah, it's a good placement. Yeah, it's an interesting one too. And also, another thing with this Cancer in the 7th house is that their relationship might, because might go up and down, or have its ups and downs, because the moon, Cancer is ruled by the moon, which rules it's in the 7th house. So basically, this means that their relationship could have, ups and downs, because Cancer is a very emotional sign. So it's interesting. And then Leo in the 8th house. We have Leo's things like self-expression, and the 8th house is birth, death, sex, transformation, merging energies, shared finances, inheritance, assets, property, real estate, and joint ventures. And so, someone with this placement may have a very unstable or fluctuating sense of self, ego, self-esteem, and identity. And again, remember how I told you about Capricorn Ascendant, like seeking the external validation and external success so they can feel better about themselves. Well, this is because Leo is in the 8th house, and because Leo is ruled by the sun, which is ego and all this good stuff, and the 8th house is basically like a scorpionic house, and it's basically deep water. It's like transformation, just like some unpleasant things. It's like basically it's like the sun is like underwater, pretty much. It's like it's not happy. It's supposed to be, in the sky, and it's like underwater, so it's like not feeling too good about itself. And Scorpio is like this very transformative, very transformational energy. And so it's, or the 8th house. So yeah, it's an interesting, it's pretty hard placement, and I don't envy anyone who has this placement, because that must be really rough. I can't imagine what that's like. So then we have Virgo in the 9th house, and Virgo is things like being analytical, being very detail oriented, things like that. And the 9th house is international travel, wisdom, philosophy, religion, higher education, foreign cultures, and learning. And so someone with this placement is very analytical and creative about their religious beliefs and spirituality and higher learning, or calculative. So it's very analytical and calculative about their religious beliefs, spirituality, and higher learning, and philosophy, and all that good stuff. So they'll be very, they might like pick out what they like from different like religions and stuff, and kind of blend things together. Or they might be, I don't know. It's kind of a hard placement, or it's kind of a difficult thing to say what they're going to be like, because they could be. It really just depends on how the planets are placed and things like that. But I guess they'll be very. I could say that they'll be very into their like intellectual connection with their spirituality and higher learning and philosophy and stuff like that. So, moving on to Libra, we have Libra in the 10th house. And Libra is things like balance, balance, harmony, things like that. And the 10th house is career, long-term achievements, status, reputation, public image, fame, fathers and experts, things like that. And so, someone with this placement will have a career, may have a career working behind the scenes in movies, music, fashion, theater, art, or they will have balance and creativity in their work. Why is this, you might be asking? Because Libra is ruled by Venus. And so Venus is all about, the art, the movies, the music, the theater, fashion, beauty, and things like that. And Libra is balance, so, someone might, for example, someone could be a music producer, or a soundtrack producer or something like that, because they're all about, like, Libra is the balance, the harmony, the rhythm, the things like that, determining which notes go where and how they're timed out, how they're balanced, and things like that. And then the Venus is the actual end product, the music that comes out of that. So it's a pretty cool sign, or pretty cool placement. So then we have Scorpio in the 11th house, and Scorpio is transformation. And the 11th house is things like groups, friends, humanitarianism, technology, the future, hopes and wishes. So, someone with this placement, with Scorpio in the 11th house, may be secretive about their social circle and investments. Because Scorpio is like this secretive sign, this like hidden, very secluded, very protective sign. And so that's in the 11th house, and that's like groups, friends, all kinds of that kind of stuff. So, so they'll be very secretive about their social circle and their investments, and they're very guarded about who they let into their circle of friends, or the very guarded about the friendships that they keep in general, because Scorpio is like this protective sign, and it's guarded and things like that, and so it's like secretive. It's interesting. It's an interesting placement. So then we'll talk about Sagittarius in the 12th house. So we have Sagittarius in the 12th house, and Sagittarius is things like philosophy, religion, higher education, things like that. And 12th house is things like spirituality, healing, solitude, karma, the afterlife, and the unconscious mind. And someone with this placement will be very spiritual, but they'll be very generous and charitable in their donations as well. Why is this? Because Sagittarius is philosophy, and so they'll be very philosophical, or very intellectual, or very dedicated to their religious, or their 12th house is more spirituality than religion, so they'll be very dedicated to their spiritual growth and stuff like that. And so you might be asking why someone with this placement would be very charitable and giving and generous in their donations. It's because Pisces is, or the 12th house is basically giving away energy, or giving away giving of yourself. And so if that giving of yourself is correlated with, is connected with Sagittarius, which is like your higher beliefs, your higher higher education, higher learning, and like your morals and things like that, then you're going to want to give generously and help people and things like that. So it's a very interesting placement for sure. Alrighty guys, so if you want a Vedic astrology reading, then to discover more about your Vedic birth chart, then you can go to vincent.thunderwizard.com right there. Just type that into the browser and it should pop up. And I may be having a sale soon. Who knows? I might end up putting my Vedic astrology readings on sale. So yeah. So look out for that too. Also, check out the YouTube channel for more videos and stuff like that. Subscribe and all that good stuff. So thanks. We will see you later, guys. Peace.